अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी। वेलकम बैक टू अनदर वीडियो इंग्लिश विद रहील सर। आज के टॉपिक में हम बात करेंगे पोस्ट कॉलोनियल लिटरेचर क्या होता है, पोस्ट कॉलोनियलिज्म क्या होती है, इसके बारे में। तो बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए हम लेक्चर शुरू करते हैं। सबसे पहले हम ये देखेंगे कि व्हाट इज़ पोस्ट कॉलोनियल लिटरेचर थ्योरी। पोस्ट कॉलोनियल लिटरेचर क्या है, इसकी क्या थ्योरी है, इसके पीछे कौन कौन से जो राइटर हैं, वो क्रिटिक हैं, वो कौन कौन से हैं, ठीक है। और ये होता क्या है, इससे क्या मुराद है। एक बहुत अहम क्वेश्चन है बीएस लेवल पे यूनिवर्सिटी में जो है इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट के लिए। तो हम इसको फर्दर डिस्कशन करेंगे। पहले हम इसको नोट्स इसके मेरे पास हैं, तो आपको मैं नोट्स से ही तैयारी करवा रहा हूँ ताकि आपको रिटर्न मटेरियल दस्तयाब हो जिसे आप इसको देख के पढ़ सकें। एक चीज़ सिंपली समझा दी जाए या उससे फिर आपको समटाइम भूल जाते हैं बच्चे, तो रिटर्न मटेरियल जो होता है उसको याद करना आसान होता है, ठीक है। So, post-colonial literature theory is the lens for which we look at literature to understand the effect of colonialism on the author and their characters. हम जो है लिटरेचर में जो असरअंदाज होती हैं, colonialism होती है किस पे, आथर जो है लिखने वाले पे, और जो करैक्टर्स वो उसमें अटैच कर रहा है, अपनी बातें लिख रहा है, उसके ऊपर बड़ा असरअंदाज होता है ये चीज़ें जो colonialism वाली चीज़ें। It allows the reader to understand the consequences of colonialism on a deeper level. तो ये पढ़ने वालों पे भी बड़ा असरअंदाज होती हैं, वो इस चीज़ को असर होता है और फ़ायदा होता है उनको। और वो उनको पता चल जाता है कि गहराई में जाके जब पढ़ते हैं कि कॉलोनियलिज़म किस तरह उनको बता रही है कि जो लिखने वाला लिखारी है उसने ये क्यों लिखा। वाई डज कलोनियलिज्म What does colonialism, post-colonialism mean? Post-colonialism refers to the time period in which the world faced the aftermath of Western colonialism. मगरबी colonialism के बाद जो दौर था उसको post-colonialism कहा जाता है। इस टाइम में historians began to understand the plethora of ways colonialism shaped history. इस दौरान उन्होंने कॉलोनियलिज्म ने कैसे शेप किया उस इलाके को, तो उसके बारे में बताया गया है। व्हाट इज़ द मीनिंग ऑफ पोस्ट कॉलोनियलिज्म इन लिटरेचर? पोस्ट कॉलोनियलिज्म इन लिटरेचर मीन अ पीस ऑफ लिटरेचर रिफ्लेक्टिंग ऑन द इफेक्ट्स ऑफ कॉलोनियलिज्म. सम फेमस पोस्ट कॉलोनियल authors are Edward Said, Chinua Achebe. After that, we'll discuss about what is post-colonialism. Post-colonialism is defined as a period of time presenting the aftermath of the Western colonialization of African, Eastern Europe, and Asia. To understand post-colonialism, one has to understand colonialism first. Colonialism as a concept is the practice of one country forcibly assuming power over and responsibility for another country. किसी भी एक मुल्क का अपनी ताकत के बलबूते पर किसी दूसरे मुल्क पर अपना ताकत दिखाना, राज करना या अपने कानूनों को उधर अप्लाई करना, इसको कॉलोनियलिज्म कहा जाता है। इट आल्सो रेफर्स टू a good period of history for which this practice was most prevalent from the 15th to 20th centuries. This is also known as the modern period of colonialism. There are three major periods of colonialism: pre-modern, modern, and neo-colonialism. Pre-modern colonialism mainly refers to a time before Western civilization during the Greek and Byzantine empires. During this period, Arabs, Vikings, Romans, and some Christians held colonies throughout the Mediterranean, Britain, Ireland, Iceland, Greenland, Greenland, North America, present-day Russia and Ukraine, France, Sicily, and even the Baltic Islands. However, with the birth of Western culture, Catholicism, modern European powers, and modern warfare, colonialism moved into the modern era. The modern era of colonialism refers to the most prevalent period of colonialism. This period began with the Portuguese prince Henry the Navigator initiated the age of exploration by setting up trading posts in Africa. After Portugal made the first move, other European powers, namely Spain, Portugal, Britain, France, the Netherlands, and Persia, expanded their respective colonial reach as well. What is post-colonial theory? Since postcolonialism refers to the time period in which society deals with the consequences of colonialism, postcolonial theory is the body of thought that is most concerned with the economic, historical, and cultural impact of European colonial rule. Under the umbrella of postcolonial theory is postcolonial literature, where many famous authors have written classical transformative novels that have realistically portrayed the way native communities were affected by colonialism. What is summary of this topic? Postcolonialism refers to the time after colonialism and the study of its consequences. Postcolonialism follows pre-modern and modern colonialism, which was the practice of seizing governmental control over another country or piece of land. Post-colonial theory is the body of thought that reflects on the cultural, economic, and historical impact of colonialism. What is post-colonialism? In many works of literature, specifically those coming out of Africa, the Middle East, and the Indian subcontinent, we meet characters who are struggling with their identities in the wake of colonization of or the establishment of colonies in another nation. For example, the British had a colonial presence in India from the 1770s until India gained its independence in 1947. As you can imagine, the people of India, as well as the characters in Indian novels, must deal with the economic, political, and emotional facts that the British brought and left behind. This is true for literature that comes out of any colonized nation. In many cases, the literature stemming from these events is both emotional and political. The post-colonial theorist enters the text through a specific critical lens or a specific way of reading a text. That critical lens, post-colonial theory of post-colonialism, asks the reader to analyze and explain the effect that colonialization and imperialism or the extension of power into other nations have on people and nations. What are the effects of colonialization? Sorry. As mentioned, post-colonialism asks the reader to enter a text through the post-colonial lens. This chart will help you how to approach a post-colonial reading a text. As a reader, you would look for the effects of colonialism and how they are addressed through the plot, setting, and characters. What are the effects of colonialism theory? Here are two theories for effects of colonization. That first one is Edward Said and another Homi Bhabha. Sorry, Edward Said. Edward Said's book Orientalism in 1978 is considered the foundation work on which post-colonial theory developed. Said then could be considered the father of post-colonialism. His work, including Orientalism, focused on exploring and questioning the artificial boundaries or the stereotypical boundaries that even have been drawn between the East and West, specifically as they relate to the Middle East. In doing this, Said focused specifically on our stereotypes of Middle Easterns. However, these same ideas can be extended to include how we view all others. This is the us other mentality that many colonials take with them into our new countries. Such simple generalizations lead to misconceptions and miscommunications, which are often the basis of post-colonial analysis. After that, Homi Bhabha said about effect of colonialization. Bhabha's work, including The Location of Culture in 1994, focuses on the politics, emotions, and values that exist in the space between the colonizer and the colonized. In other words, cultures are more than us and other; they are the sum of their histories. Bhabha liked to use the word hybrid, meaning composed of mixed elements, to describe past colonial people and experiences. In doing this, Bhabha focused on the collective effects of colonization on peoples and cultures. तो बेसिकली इन दोनों थ्योरियों में यही बात की ये कल्चर जो होता है उसका जो बड़ा असर होता है उसके लोगों पर, उसकी लिखारियों पर जो राइटर्स होते हैं। तो यहाँ पे कुछ जो कंट्रीज़ थे उनका उन्होंने बताया है कि इन पे कलोनियलाइजेशन की गई, ठीक है। तो कलोनियलाइजेशन जो होती है, कलोनियलिज्म की होती है, वो किसी भी मुल्क का जो है वो दूसरे मुल्क की हुकूमत पे असरअंदाज़ी होती है कि वो उनके इख्तियार छीन लें और अपने तरीके से उनको चलाएँ। तो इस तरह उनका भी बड़ा नुकसान होता है और उसके लोगों पर भी बड़ा असरअंदाज होते हैं। तो ये आज का टॉपिक था हमारा पोस्ट कॉलोनियल लिटरेचर का। आई होप कि आपको समझ आई होगी। थैंक यू। अल्लाह हाफिज़।